Hey everybody, I'm here with my new friend Minyoung Sohn. First of all, I want to say I want to do interviews with interesting people with interesting backgrounds. He's definitely one. Minyoung Sohn here is the co-founder of ArrowMark Partners, an investment firm based out of here in Denver, and they now have over $20 billion under management. So this guy knows what he's doing. He's a very ambitious, hardworking entrepreneur. And but before we delve into all of that, I'll give you his personal background. And he was born in South Korea, and his parents brought him over when they immigrated here to the U.S. when he was 3 years old. And so I'll let him talk about some of that. I mean, he came to Dayton, Ohio, if I recall correctly.
First of all, Mario, and thank you everyone for even watching and listening. And first, you reaching out to me on LinkedIn. I think it was a couple years ago, and I responded, "Hey, let's connect." And it's amazing to me that after a series of conversations that we're here at this point, and you give me the great honor of kind of having a conversation with you on the page. So yes, my parents, they came to this country in 1976. And so really, like, my story, I think, is a story of my dad and my mom and what they wanted in terms of themselves. So my parents grew up very modestly it's a beautiful town, but it's a very modest actually village in the southern tip of like South Korea. So it's got South Korea, they're kind of like down here. Little town called Namyeon, just a beautiful town. But my dad grew up, very poor. Like, he talked about not having access to education and just having to work jobs as like a kid, trying to save up money to tuition so he could go to school kind of 1 year at a time. And then, he married my mom, and then there was a program, I think it was under the Ford administration, and through the United States State Department, they worked with different families, and where they ended up, of all places, actually Wapakoneta, Ohio, which is the birthplace of Neil Armstrong. And there was the family in Wapakoneta, the Clark family, and they effectively sponsored my mom and my dad, the sons, coming from Korea. And not only us, but there's another Korean family called the Chuns. And so there's like the 4 sons, and then it would have been like the 6 Chuns, like the 10 Koreans in the Wapakoneta, a town of like 500 people. And so that's where we landed in Wapakoneta, and then we did spend about 2-3 years in Lima, Ohio, which is about about an hour north of Wapakoneta. And Lima, which I think, or I'm told, is sort of the setting of that TV show Glee. I don't know if you watch it. Do you watch it? I didn't think so. But that is, so Wapakoneta kind of typified, and Lima, Ohio, kind of the heart and soul, kind of like industrial, the blue-collar Midwest. We lived there for about 3 years. Went to school system on Elida Bulldogs. And then we moved down to Dayton, Ohio, because what my dad did was he took some actual entrepreneurial risks. So he originally got himself trained as an auto mechanic, and then went to the Ford dealership, the Clark Ford dealership in Wapakoneta, Ohio. And then he took time off. He went and got a job at a Chinese restaurant in Finley, and that's what he always described it. He'd be like, sweeping the kitchen and like kind of like looking over, trying to figure out how to cook, right? He kind of taught himself through observation. And then we moved south. I think it was about 1986 or so. I can't remember. I'll figure that out. But I was going into the 4th grade, and that's when we started in Dayton, Ohio. And I spent about 4 years in a town called West Carrollton, Ohio, the Pirates. And then in middle school, we moved to the neighboring school district in arch rival, funny enough, Miamisburg. And so that's kind of my history through Dayton.
All right. Well, that's cool.
That might be more than you bargained for. But that is kind of
cool.
Who I am, kind of an immigrant that landed in Ohio, which is like the crazy awesome state next to Colorado. But it's like a crazy awesome state in the Midwest to grow up in because of all that history. We got Neil Armstrong, we got John Glenn, and Dayton, we got the Wright brothers. What I tell people is, as a kid, it's not like I was 20 years old and he was coming up and I was like this 3-year-old kid who literally was in a village being raised by my grandparents, going to Wapakoneta, and the one museum in this town of 5,500 people is like the Air and Space Museum. holy crap, like everyone in this country like goes to space. You know, that's kind of what
Right.
I thought. And then I learned when I went to junior high school that people also learn how to fly, right? That's just the Wright brothers. And so that is basically kind of like how I'm imprinted in terms of like
nice.
American. Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, and then okay, so then after that, then you went to Dartmouth.
Yep, Dartmouth. Yep.
Dartmouth, and got an economics and government degree, a double major, and wrote some notes here. Graduated cum laude in '98.
Not summa cum laude like you. But,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
But,
but you got a double major.
Yep,
So
yep.
yeah, that's good. And
Can I tell you that I was also my fraternity beer pong champion my senior year.
okay.
That at least cost me a third of a point. So that
Yeah.
might have been Magna.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But
yeah.
finally, granted, it was a weaker draw because the true champions, these guys, Vince and Gooch, so Jeremy and Vince, they were like somehow not on speaking terms that quarter. So I kind of like snuck in there with my partner. But yes.
All right.
That should be noted.
So that counts.
So in addition to GPA, we had a good beer pong experience. It was a good
that
overall
combined.
EPA, entertainment, point average or something.
Yeah,
Experiential point average.
Yeah, so you were the valedictorian then in that sense.
For sure.
Yeah. And then so okay, you graduate Dartmouth.
Dartmouth,
Yeah,
yep.
I gotta pronounce it correctly.
It looks like Dartmouth.
And
You remember that?
Yeah. And then is it from there you went straight to Janus? Or
Yeah, so 1998. From Hanover, New Hampshire to here at Denver, Colorado.
Okay, wow. And then you started as an analyst. You did that, looks like 5.5 years or so. And then, from what I read, you won the #1 analyst award 5 times. Which, that's a testament to your hard work.
You put my LinkedIn?
Yeah, it's right all in there.
Yeah.
And then you were a portfolio manager for the Janus Growth and Income Fund for 4 years.
That's right.
04 and 07. And then from there, portfolio manager of the Janus Fundamental Equity Fund.
Yeah, I kind of took that one. So I was 28, and I got a chance to run this $10 billion mutual fund, which is insane. It's crazy.
10 billion.
It's kind of hard to think about. And what happened was about a year in, one of my colleagues took time off for family. And so they just kind of lumped it on there. So I was really kind of like managing 2 funds for a while.
Wow. So that's a lot of responsibility for especially a 28-year-old. And let's see, so, and then the from May of 05 to November of 07, you're the portfolio manager of Janus. Okay, that's the same thing.
Yeah,
Janus.
the fundamental equity fund.
And I read it was rated #1 fund in the Lipper Large Cap Core, which is a group of 1,000 funds. So,
yeah, there's like 1,100 funds at the time.
So I mean, that's this guy. It's not luck. He works and studies, does a lot of research. Really believe in fundamental research. As you can, there's a lot of talk of ETFs, exchange traded funds, and all that, but a good portfolio manager such as yourself can beat, the market, if you're good diligent research, I would say.
Anybody can beat the market with good due diligence and research.
Right.
And, I think at the time, out of like modesty or humility, I would have been like, that was pretty lucky.
Right.
But at the time, the reality was, I can tell you what got me there, which was, we did a lot of work in this one company called AMD, Advanced Market Devices.
Oh, right.
And I just want you to know, like, SEC, I am not trying to pump anything right now, okay? I'm not trying to, this is a story from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But my point being, we made a very big bet on this one semiconductor company, which was very out of consensus, and it worked. And that allowed me to create a differential return. But the downside of that is, the year after I had that great year was one of my worst years because I held on too long.
Right.
And the thing that I knew, which was at the time AMD would be vulnerable to Intel because Intel has so many inherent competitive advantages. It's just a mistake. It's like you had the victory, and then whoosh, like you had it just one of these. And so kind of talked about it a little bit earlier. Just kind of sometimes from your greatest defeat,
Yeah.
you have this great lesson.
Sure.
In that situation, it's my greatest victory that caused my greatest defeat.
Right.
But it was overall, it was a great time, because essentially, when I started in '98 for Janus, I was like the internet guy.
Right.
Because I was like the one kidding me out. For us, email, I graduated from high school in 1994, and I remember it was like 1993. I think my parents spent like almost $4,000 to buy a Dell computer with, I swear to God, like 8 megs of RAM.
Yeah, right.
8 megs, that's hilarious. Like 8 megs of RAM is in my fingertip, right?
Sure.
But there's a lot of word processing to be done then. But more importantly, I think what it was is like the beginning of the browser and email. And then I got a chance to go to Dartmouth, which is one of the most early, I think it's the first network campus in the world, and the largest Apple cluster in the world.
Right.
And so you think about like all the unique sets of circumstances that ultimately kind of helps get you to where you are.
Sure.
In some weird way, because I just grew up on something called Blitzmail, which is kind of Dartmouth's kind of homebrew web email. Still to this day, I think the greatest email ever.
Yeah.
And I remember when the browser could render graphics automatically for you. So there's no more cut and pasting ASCII code and trying to like feel your different.
Yeah, right.
And that was like a game changer. And so by the time that I got to Janus, my first couple assignments were to do research regional banks, which I love because that is like real, bread and butter business. But I was able to be like, hey, we should look at this company called Yahoo.
Right.
And that, kind of the rest is history. I got a chance to meet with this guy named Jerry Yang and his partner David Philo, chief Yahoo, right? Founders and chief Yahoo. They were the core cultural elements of the place. Yahoo, yet another highly efficient work. I think that's what it stood for, right? Crazy exclamation point. And from there, I met with Jeff Bezos. I would say with Jeff, I swear to God, right? Like this close, many times, to being like, what I mean? Like everyone's like, you want one of these? I give one of these. But what's cool was I actually did believe in him. And we're one of the largest investors in a lot of these firms. So whether it's Amazon or eBay, Yahoo. And then you see all the things where like companies should have become something. Because in many ways, if you think about Yahoo, they were the original search engine. They were the original web crawler.
Right.
And before Google went public in like 2003 or something, I think if I remember right, Yahoo essentially created Google by then handing the keys over to Google.
Right.
Because previously they used to use a company called Inktomi. I inked keys with David Peterschmidt, Corey Brewer, who's like the chief scientist. I remember meeting all these guys. And they had 80% of all the web searches on the internet back then. Can you imagine that? Like 1998, 1999. Well, Inktomi, because Inktomi was the Google for Yahoo and Excite and Lycos and Hotbot. Do you remember these portals back then? They're hilarious, right? Lycos, did I say Lycos? Historical. 25 years ago, seems like a lifetime. But anyway, and then Yahoo also had like broadcast.com and GeoCities. So I remember GeoCities kind of like Facebook, right? Or GeoCities. Yeah. I remember. And broadcast.com is like YouTube, or kind of right quality of streaming bits to create some sort of media output at the end, whether it, then it was audio, but now video. So yeah, I've had this amazing moment in time where I was able to see the creation of it. Because now it's like, oh my God, Jeff Bezos talking about taking to the moon or space, And I'm like, I remember when. I remember when he was telling us stories like this about writing the business plan in his car while driving from like New York out west. And so that's just been like an amazing part of the story as well.
Now he's the biggest retailer on the planet.
He is the biggest assembler of business intelligence on the planet. Right, and that's what companies ultimately are.
Still talking about Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos, right? Jeff Bezos. What Amazon has become is a talent magnet of people who understand business process and using every element of resource available to them to create not just value but intangible value. And that's where if they're talking about later, you're talking about stock investing. That's one of the things that people invest in stock like Amazon, for example. In this world, value is not GAAP EPS. Right? I mean, maybe, but it isn't.
Right.
And because GAAP EPS, well, one, assuming it's not doctored to death, but with the adjustments made later, it doesn't capture real value in R&D or customer goodwill, or there's no transaction between us right now, but I feel like us meeting is really profitable, right? Like we're going to benefit from this. GAAP, don't really capture that. And so, in a way, I think. He has created a company of people who understand how to create long-term value. That's not necessarily measured day to day or year to year in stock price. Although now, because they've earned it through a generation of kicking ass, like everyone's ass, and now it's like, oh, everyone do what? Well, we're going to kill you until you prove you can survive.
Right.
And so that's where now some of the competitive dynamic questions around, antitrust and some of these newer concepts need to evolve because, in a way, we're kind of far beyond, what people kind of thought about even 20 years ago, much less 100 years ago.
Right.
Sherman, are you kidding me?
Right. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Oh, he's doing intros. I'm sorry, I'm really long-winded.
What's that?
I'm really long-winded.
Oh,
You
no.
can cut me off anytime.
No. Yeah, this is all great. I mean, it's all great insight to hear. I mean, because you saw like you say, Jeff Bezos in the beginning stages.
In the beginning stages, because right now everyone always sounds so smart, like they know everything, especially analysts. Analysts know everything, right? No, the analysts know nothing. And at the time, even something like Barron's, it's like Amazon.bomb. I remember to this day, there's an analyst who nearly took this company down because he wrote some common sense article that's explained that if you collected cash from consumers right away, but you didn't pay your suppliers for 60 days, right, you have a negative working capital cycle. It's actually quite a good thing because as you grow sales, you actually generate cash.
Sure.
Somehow this guy was able to take the color black and convince people that it was like not white or something. I'm saying that, but anyway, people are so stupid sometimes, and analysts are the worst. But anyway, Amazon was not always obvious.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, this got totally black.
It's one of the great stories.
It is one of the great stories of business. Absolutely.
And then after you paid your dues at Janus.
Paid my dues. Yeah, Janus was a great time. I put in. There were times I worked like 80 hours, 90 hours. I didn't even know how I was like, because I wasn't married yet, so it's like, okay, I might as well work, right? Like, what else am I gonna do?
Yeah, so that's another thing I was gonna ask. So 80 to 90 hour weeks. Sometimes.
First of all, I'd never recommend it,
right.
Especially if you got family or a life, right? Maybe 80 or 90 hours up here, I don't know. But at the time, it was really good because, if you're working, or if I was working 80 hours a week, and there's no analyst out there that's working 40, right? Like maybe they're working 60.
Right.
But if you think about that, like if I'm working 80 and they're working 60, I'm actually picking up a full year on them every so often.
Yeah, right.
I'm lapping them.
Right.
And I think that's what happened, and it's not just the working all the time, but there's a certain thing about the way I like to think and operate. Excuse me, all the Izzies.
Yeah.
But I like to, I think I do really, I like to retain concepts or knowledge, or like to understand how things interplay. And it's not just necessarily subject matter, but sometimes it's experiential or connecting related. But in a way that it's all cumulative. So if I have a better cumulative, information harnessing method, and then I overload it by just putting more sales volume or hours volume. I think that was a big part early on at Janus, just trying to be successful when it's just a really hard industry.
Sure.
Yeah.
Very competitive.
Yeah.
And then so after your time at Janus, I don't know how many partners you had when you got together with some others and decided to start ArrowMark Partners. That was you guys got that off the ground in November 2008.
Right. Just in time for the financial crisis.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we would have missed that otherwise.
Yeah, so that must have been kind of a stressful time to start at.
It's one of these moments where everyone remembers it, right? Everyone's like, where were you when?
Right.
And it's unfortunate, it's always a negative event, right?
Right.
But we survived. And I think whenever you survive something like that, people give you more credibility. It's like, you're still around, because there's always that when you start your business, because people want to know that you're not fraudulent, or people want to know you're not incompetent. People, all the basic check mark stuff.
Sure.
Okay, he's not a complete idiot. And then it was an amazing opportunity because we were able to hire a lot of great people.
Right.
You talked about your experience when you were looking for a job at the Four Seasons, and how many open positions was it? 220?
Yeah, there's 260.
And you said how many
positions,
people were
over
on?
10,000 implied total.
Yeah, that's Wall Street too.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
actually Wall Street forever.
Wow.
And the idea is that there are now and forever will be, and certainly now, there is a lot of really amazing people who needed a home.
Yeah.
And to the extent that we had, well, I don't even know if it's credible, but like, we look like good people, a good place to be. They had meaningful work and opportunities. It's a great time to start a business.
Right. Yeah. So and done pretty good with it. So like I don't know how many funds you guys have there, but I know you're the manager, or at least what I read is you're the manager of the Meridian Enhanced Equity Fund.
Right.
Since October of 2014.
Yep.
You currently have around 45 companies in that, something like that. Some of the top holdings are Roku, Snap, Exact Sciences, Microsoft, and Amazon. The Exact Sciences is the really interesting one.
But we shouldn't talk too much about the stock stuff because I was told just recently by my compliance officer you have to be really careful about all that stuff.
So we won't go into that.
Right. But conceptually or another stock, I don't know. Or other stuff. But yes. But that basically gets us current to where we are today, right?
Yeah. So,
sorry about that.
No, that's cool. So well, let's see. So, as far as, well, I guess one topic I wanted to touch on was like stress.
Yeah.
In your line of work, you're going to have obviously challenges, and then it's like being a coach of an NFL team. You never, like coaches of NFL teams work all around the clock because there's no shortage of strategies and plays they can come up with. I mean, it's just endless amounts of film to watch.
Yeah.
And with yours, it's probably just endless amount. You just don't have enough time in the world to do all the research you can possibly do.
Yeah.
So, do you have ways to handle the stress? Like
I do.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing, Mario, and it's amazing that's your first question, and I don't know if I would have thought to bring it up, but yeah, stress kills. I mean, so you would know better than me probably all the ways in which if you have an exorbitant amount of stress in your body, like the biochemical negativity feedback cycle that it creates.
Sure.
It can't be good.
Right.
But I can tell you too, like, for me and a lot of Wall Street people or professional people, working people, or basically anybody, if you have a hard time managing workplace stress, it's going to impact your home life.
Right.
And if your home life isn't good, it really puts you in a tough spot to handle your workplace stress.
Sure.
And so all of that just has to be dealt with. It's funny you said the word stress, and immediately I started trying to kick it into these breathing exercises.
Right.
So I will say if you're feeling that moment, the one thing I've learned from my therapist, and I do see one, is you just kind of breathe in 4 seconds, and then the idea is you really expel your air as much as you can to eat and push out, and that's supposed to produce. And as the air goes over something, it's supposed to produce a release of a chemical that's a great relaxant.
Sure.
I do stuff like that, right? And just little tips. But I'd say the biggest thing is just understanding, one, just being okay with yourself if you feel stressed out, or to say you feel stressed out. And I think for me, the biggest thing that I've been able to do is understand that trying to get help for it, to get a therapist, or being able to talk to someone else, say, hey, I need your help with this, or you don't have to be woe is me, I'm so pathetic, I need help. No one wants to feel like that.
Right.
But it's better, I think, to just it's not that it's manly or not manly. It's just it's the right thing to do. It's good for you, right? So you're telling me I gotta be in shape. I'm yes, and you also have to be a therapist.
Right.
And so I would say that's the number one thing. Is when if it's bad and it's impacting home, I would say that's the point where you gotta get help.
Right.
Professional help.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you gotta get all crazy about it, but recognizing and understanding tools to control your situation and outcomes, I think is a really great investment.
Yeah. Got to keep it under control. If it gets too out of hand, it'll just eat at you and it'll take your health down.
It's I was trying to think. Yeah, so there's certain words that I've been trying to focus on, thinking about like what it means.
Right.
Like juju, like good juju. I think we kind
Right.
of all know. There's got to be a word that's like the opposite of that for stress, but it's not quite. But it's something like that. Like I think stress is like this really negative, energetic tax that, yeah, you just gotta get rid of it,
Right.
or learn to manage it somehow. You know.
One suggestion, I mean, as far as health, do you at work you probably sit down in a chair, or do you have a stand-up desk at all?
It's funny. I still sit down in one of those old school Herman Miller like Aeron chairs,
Oh, okay.
and my back does hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
But pretty much half of our office now does have one of those stand-up desks.
Okay,
Is that
good.
something that I should be doing?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, because after 20 minutes, your body starts shutting down when you're sitting down.
20 minutes?
Yeah, something like that. Because it's not natural to sit for really long periods of time.
Right.
The first time I ever really heard of a stand-up desk was when I was working at the ArrowMark, and at that time Donald Rumsfeld was the defense secretary, and he hosted a NATO conference there. So I was talking to one of his assistants. I got to meet Rumsfeld, but then I was talking to one of his assistants at great length, and he said that Rumsfeld never sits down, ever. And he has, and you can look it up on Google Donald Rumsfeld stand-up desk in the Pentagon, and he always stood. And then I did see him when he was going around the hotel. He never wore real dress shoes; those athletic shoes with his suits.
Fascinating.
Because and you look at him, and he was very fit.
Yeah, well, defense secretary. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, that was
you
one-
expect him to kick your ass any time.
Yeah.
I mean,
But then you look at Dick Cheney, who lived the opposite lifestyle. You know, his health collapsed. So it's something to look at.
no, I definitely want to live a long time because I've
Yeah.
got big plans. You know,
Yeah,
so
sure.
I want to live,
Yeah.
healthily and enjoy it.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you only live once. You don't want to do all
Right.
this work for what?
You don't want to cut short,
Right.
and maximize it, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I also read an article you wrote. It's titled "The Real Economy."
Yeah.
And you mentioned there's this famous economist. I've heard of him. His name is Mohammed El Arian.
Yeah.
I think he used to head the Harvard endowment.
Mm-hmm.
And then he moved
He's
on.
done a
Then he-
lot of. I mean, in our industry, he's about as big time as he gets.
Yeah. And then I think he worked for PIMCO.
Yep.
But this quote by him.
I hate it, but yes.
He said
Yeah.
something like, "This is the new normal we're in the new normal for lackluster growth."
Yeah.
And you had mentioned 5 years after the '82 recession,
Yeah.
we had average growth of 4.9% a year, but
Yeah.
the first 5 years after the Great Recession ended in 2009, the average growth was only 2.1%. And then you mentioned like when Greenspan did all his cuts, it helped lead to the housing bubble. And Bernanke himself lowered rates to 0% for
Yeah.
7 years, but he also started the quantitative easing.
Yeah.
But I don't know, you can comment on that, and also I'd be curious to know what you think about today, because the interest rates, one of the most powerful tools you have in fixing. Okay, so
So how long were we like off for? Just that level?
well, it wasn't long. I know because I looked at it, and then I
Okay.
looked at it. Well, here's the situation. The first section of video we made, the camera just shut off. It probably reached its max
He
for a
was
single
like
video.
monologuing too much. He was like, we
Yeah.
gotta cut this off. Yeah.
So we'll just pick up here and then wrap it up. Whatever. He had been talking about quantitative easing and all that. So
Monologuing like
Yeah.
like endlessly. But
So you can, finish with whatever or say.
I mean, I think that's going to be the fundamental risk for just investors and really just the system today is that you have the real economy, which is you, me, it's
Right.
flesh and blood going to work and
Right.
trying to make bills and do
Sure.
work. And then you have Wall Street, which is the financialization and the mathematical abstraction, in some cases leveraged abstraction of reality.
Right.
And then a marketplace of capital compete for returns.
Sure.
And it's, there have been a certain set of conditions in which that interplay between Wall Street and real economies happen. And it's been, from 1982 Paul Volcker till now, it's been a declining rate environment.
Right.
And we're coming to an end there.
Sure.
And this is being complicated by international politics.
Right.
So, and this is also creating a political cycle here at home. So, I guess to your point, your original question, I think that is the most important issue for us to figure out right now.
Yeah. Okay.
You're like,
well, I just want to make sure.
You're like throwing me the hook. I get it.
No. I just want to make. I messed it up.
It's all good.
But,
It's all good. Well, we said this was our practice one, right?
Yeah.
Practice.
So I can do. By the time we get, a few more, this will be like the Joe Rogan show. But yeah.
He said it, not me.
Yeah, but no, this has been very interesting. I enjoy talking to someone like you who's, you've earned everything you got in life through hard work, lots of ambition. Worked hard at Janus and then had the drive to, be a co-founder of a big firm here in Denver. And then you're involved in other things around Denver. I just think it's, people like you keep things chugging along in this country. So, and pretty good, what a contribution from an immigrant family, and a testament to your parents too,
It's everything I do is to try to honor them.
Yeah, that's just a huge leap to go from, a country on the other side of the planet to here. Even the language is different. You have to hope, you don't even use the same alphabet. It's, so, thanks for your time.
Well, I want to thank you for reaching out to me and giving me this amazing opportunity to introduce myself and just practice talking. I'm so nervous, but and congratulations on building such a huge web following.
Yeah.
And
thanks.
teaching me things that I should learn how to do for the causes that I'm going to be really excited about supporting.
Sure.
And so thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
You bet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. To be continued eventually.
Eventually.
All right. Thanks.